Because I got shit to do after this. Called sleeping. Someone left the coffee machine on. Dark liquid in a pot looks almost sentient. Was this book mine? Yoink. Standard office file cabinet. Drawers seem to be locked. Dewey typewriter. Every worker member of the board written on top. Doors locked, cannot be opened from this side without a pass card. So you have no choice but to talk to the union leader now. You broke in, but you can't leave. Postcard. Kick it. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the union to leave their paperwork lying around like this. Let's see what's inside. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Ravishall from the outside world, Mundi, Grad, and Illimaria. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Ravishall. Koran, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. Anything interesting? It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. Try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Why is my volition down? Close the drawer. I'll be back. What's lowering my volition? Because it should be 3. Everything should be a 3. Except for all these things I'm boosting and lowering. It said it was only 2, I thought. Maybe I'm crazy. Dub it. Haha. Oh, I'm hurt. And you go up and down with that. I understand. What's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note. Look at the note. Appears to be a to-do list. Remember Leo, Everett's shoe, special whirling borscht. Borscht? Water Everett's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled. Hey, I got a thing. Everett Clare, probably the head of the union. He inspects it out. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here. What's so special about this? Borscht. Code for drugs, booze, blood. Another look at the note. Nothing. Close the drawer. We have more info now, which is always good, especially when we beat thieving. I could just steal glasses. Steal all the things. Cool guy shades. They'll lower my drama, but they'll make my visual calculus even higher for some reason. I don't think that helps, really. I like drama more. I gotta be able to determine why somebody's doing a thing, right? Why's that one blue? Oh god, so many bottles. Bag. 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 I could read the book, but it will take time that I do not have because it's nap time. If I right-click, it equips it. Somewhat randomly, it seems. All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied here really hard. Did I do this? Well, the lieutenant looks at you, then the bottles. I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Must have been miserable. Yes. The scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's move on. Batchers. How did I afford all these? Kim, get out of the way. I'm doing money. Each one's a penny. Or like a dime. Or some shit. Out of the way, man. Thank you. This is the Night Watchman spoof. The name on the door reads Renee Arnault. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather. This is where Renee works. Gonna look around. If you must, the lieutenant looks around. Please hurry, we're pretty easy to spot up here. Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their spare contents meticulously organized. The framed photograph, steal it. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Renee, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She's smiling playfully at the camera. Renee looks like he's about to smile. The photo must be tied to some good memories. Why'd you take that picture of Renee? The lieutenant asks, glancing at the photo. I'm gonna ask him about him. You're really interested in that old soldier, he remarks. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time. Is this actually a way down over here? No, that stairs are fake. Okay. Quiet, great machines and quiet essence. Composite eye of halogen lights watches you. White pine trees are painted onto the screen. Looks like a forest under snow. A resting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons are marked Marsh and Arat, and are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. On, off. Turn it on. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. Okay. Placed. Almost placed. And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. Harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. What do you mean? Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it was acted, and now it will rest. I can't see how that was worth the ruckus. He looks at the crate, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying. Alright. The crane does not return to its original position. Okay. This is fine. I'm still not wearing my shoes! Or my gloves for some reason. I should just be wearing those. Oh. I guess that may have given like a pathway. Seems a little unsafe, but sure. That's fine. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm finding it slightly hard. Especially when it keeps doing that. How do I get up there? That's just broken. Okay. Whoops. That's fine, right? Free money. Free healing. Or used as a cargo container, just one of many in the yard. Something special about this one. The lieutenant sighs. Is this like your thing with the wall again? Maybe. I think we should investigate though. I don't. Why not? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? Maybe there's contraband. I don't know. It just feels special. It's a cargo container, detective, just like all the others. It doesn't even look at it. We're not here to interact with containers. We're here to get the body down from the tree. Knock. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside. Open. You attempt it. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. The lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. Persuade the door to open. Yeah. Shit. Why are you even trying to open a door, Frederick? Because it wasn't option be smart. Using my body. Figure this out. Or I won't, because RNG. Nothing to do here for now. See, I have this weird thing with RNG where I know I will fail every time. So I have no fear. The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. More of this rope. Speaker tower is silent. At least they have proper machines. It's not like manual shit. Fallen Ultra Series gloves. Musk of oil and rust comes from a chasm in front of you. Smells like blood. The ultimate performance and efficiency, these Fallen Ultra Series come fingerless with a grippy padding covering the palms. Actually, that does make gloves good. But this one has a higher interfacing, somehow. Industrial sized thermos. Free money. Banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red. Hello there.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The accent's so thick it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubi Synced on Monday.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Tiny man's so engaged in his work he doesn't notice you. Hello.
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kinda makes you feel like an asshole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
No, I'm not.
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
Doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners? Oh, yes, he replies excitedly. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. What was that about the borscht? Oh yeah, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day, since the strike started. The little guy chuckles merrily. It's very good. It makes a man feel so warm and happy. Shakes his head with a wide smile. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renaudon's board dogs every time the lunch is done. Power borscht? Never heard of a borscht that turns his little guys into dog fighters. Alcohol, however. What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for the striking? Yeah, I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Keeps y'all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling and rags. Who does? Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Simmons is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Looks like the borscht is spiked. I'll have to look into it. Oh sure, mister, sure. The little guy nods. You do that. He didn't actually understand what you meant and now he's just nodding along. What's in that container over there? Oh, that one. He looks at the container. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Told you. I'm looking for the leader of the union. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. He coughs and continues immediately. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar I went to the same school. We did, and when we were boys. Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find him. Well, Mr. Everett's usually in his office, of course. He points to the 2 joint containers on your right. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He lives around 22. Oh. Alright, then I'm off. Bye now. Oh. What's this? More money. A stair made of pallets leading up. Bop. Bop. There we go. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up up in his chair. It says nothing. He simply stares at you. Let's get straight down to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Right. He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? Getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. It's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. Sure.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on the desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Once at it again. 25 real. Really? Really? 25. Thanks for the check.
Don't mention it. But also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
Yeah, he seems to know more than I do. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. I would appreciate any help you can provide.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Intense dislike of him. It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
he says, so to himself. Sat on the chair and I took the check, so I got a -3. I have an 8% chance of success. I'm gonna lose composure. Woo! Who would have thought? So what? God, you're sweating. Your knees jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun. Those children are gonna shoot themselves with it. Men can cry too. You wanna cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. I'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? What's he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. Keep sliding down the chair like a jello shot.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Nah, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois. Vaguely gesture with your hands above your head. Oh yeah, man, I'm fucking great. Keep sliding. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water. Sit upright. This one.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
You gonna ask how I got in? Harry, he says almost gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with. Yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry, very impressive. Anyway, I assure you I'm a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Right. So let's talk about this hanging. Of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in my tenays. He nods. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. Since there's a but. But there's a thing I've been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good, the lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do exactly that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're gonna open this one with flying colors, Harry. This one's really simple, and there's nothing shady about it. Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game. With your eyes peeled, he's gonna slip up, and when he does, you're gonna come out on top. Why don't you just open it yourself? Harry, I'm very busy, man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. He slams his fists together. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you. I repeat, I'm a very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. He turns back to you. So what will it be, Harry? Whose door is it? Oh, no one, just a weasel. A weasel lives there, nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by that? A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He removes his glasses and rubs his nose. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Puts his glasses back on. I bet you don't even really know anything about the hanging, do you? Harry, my dear friend, he sinks deeper into the chair. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fine, we need to talk about the murder. Fine. Fantastic. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. He flicks his fingers. You can get the key from Manaya. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations, hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want the weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Could you help get a dead body from the tree? Might have noticed there's one hanging on the tree behind the hostel. Over there. Oh my, don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in the matter? Mr. Clare, the man who was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. Safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting it down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. Also, I studied the footprints from the crime scene. Worker boots. I can certainly see how having it up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. Oh. But of course, all joking aside, I'm going to help you. He picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right and clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And John, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. He hangs up and turns back to you. You can find him down by the gates. He's the big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. Looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means. Harry, shady brew? There are so many parts moving in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. He reconsiders just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier. He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about, and he doesn't care. I met Joyce, the company representative. And it's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very busy, you see. He adjusts a button on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. His smile widens. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy. So what happened to Mr. Gaumont? What do you mean, Harry? The big man sounds annoyed. Nothing. I let him go. He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. You call him a midget. Harry, he exclaims indignant. I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. Abruptly, he smiles and changes his tone. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. He vanished under suspicious circumstances. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. The man frowned disapprovingly. When she got back, the whole thing was over. There was no mention of a casserole from Joyce. Funny, she didn't mention it. Harry, Harry, Harry. He flicks his fingers. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew or a hairdryer or an iron. The point is her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now. Everard, Joyce seems to think the Union is lowballing her. Yes, lowballing, of course. He's suddenly very serious. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types. His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. Alright, something else. Of course, let me just assure you one more time, it's perfectly okay to share anything we can discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she's doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this, he makes an all-encompassing gesture, is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my swinging swordfish clock. Singing swordfish clock. He looks around. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything, Everett, don't mind. The threat only works so many times. What's in that container outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. It's attached to the convulsion crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says as fond as he smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking? Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing him. I'm gonna leave now. We may speak again later. Wait. He leans, reaches to a drawer, and pulls out a plastic card. Need this to get in and out through the gate. I was wondering how I was supposed to get out. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry. Can't go behind him. Alright, one-way room. Understood. Coffee in the giant thermos is still warm. Yeah, sure, I guess I'll try to sweet-talk my way into the cargo crate while I run back. Why not? No, I can't. It's not lit up again. Stop doing that. Go down. Yep, there.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
My body's unimportant. I'm with the police and I have police business with you.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Yep, you're right, I'm a piece of shit. Now let's do shit.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
That shit's unimportant. I just need you to help me with my job.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race.
Let's not get into it.
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Yeah, sure. Who the fuck cares? Now cooperate with me as a cop.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great
Where's the
world
option to hit this
war.
guy with a brick?
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul,
Subscribe
your
to it.
beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
This your mug? He doesn't so much as glance about it. Your kind of thing, though? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs in the trash? River told you to help us get the body down from the tree. So it was you surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning and remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Measurehead. But while I'm gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. He turns to the lieutenant. Both of you. Lieutenant, what if we don't do that? This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with the compromise. Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may profess competition to my heroic haplogroup. Swallow the fury. Okay, that's just do your fucking thing. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves. She turns to you. So you guys all like cops or something? Apparently, yep. Cool. I like men with guns and power. The woman twirls her hair. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? The lieutenant turns toward the yard. That sound, he's breaking something. Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it. I kinda wish I could see what's happening as well. Look at you, RCM rent-a-cops. A loud voice booms in from below, guarding the bridge like Everett's lapdogs. Is this where it's at now? The RCM's for sale? And who are you? The lieutenant fires back. What's your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you? I am an unbelievably corrupt cop. Every opportunity I get. Shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across the Martinez. It's Kuno, then. The man turns to look behind him, at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him walking past. He just fucking karate chopped the tree or some shit? Like, what happened? The corpse has been removed from the tree. He brushes wooden flakes off his hands. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. Not worth our time. Thank you for your cooperation, big guy. You did great. Farewell, ham sandwich. You're a union man from now on. Right. Not worth our time.
Scab?
Asked the man with jolly eyes, tilting his head. Cop.
I was just messing with you.
His smile
No one's ever
deepens.
seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us come for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
Everett said you had a key to a door. A key, huh? He runs his fingers through his mustache. What is this door supposed to open? Said it belonged to a weasel. Oh, say no more, I gotcha. He taps the side of his nose with a little wink. I got that key right here, and let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I'm not really doing this for political reasons. So the none of the above type, are you? I get it. I like to keep my distance too. He nods, but it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing that. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. It means we keep out of each other's business. Where did you get the key from? Janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. Talked about life and things that really truly matter. His gaze wanders off into the distance. None of this mess we're in. Just jiving and juggling. What's it for? Guess I'll wait for you to answer. Feed our children, I guess. Anything else that you know about this particular task? Shakes his head. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are. What we're fighting for. The man takes a big sip from his flask. He is and what we're fighting for? This is interesting. Any idea about the staff? The mercenary, eh? He who could have killed him. That is indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? He shakes his head solemnly. Any dark workers involved? What a thought. He scoffs, looking shocked. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. How? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. What's that mean? He was an agent of the opposition attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. So did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men with all sorts of skills. Understood. The lieutenant takes a note. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you. No problem. Nice talk. Door. Rad Factory of Magnets and Miracles, U-49. Look in the window. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin of personal belongings, stickers, insignia. Kind of stickers. Driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity. A large metal pendant hangs in the rearview mirror. Pendant features a sun crowned in wavy rays. And the back? Back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays, several suns and wheels. Racist nationalist paraphernalia. He grits his teeth. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. He nods towards the racist lorry driver. Think it belongs to him? Likely, yes. This guy is proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine. Disgusting. Get me over there, I don't care how, just go. There's little ramps everywhere, but I never know where they are. I can't see them half the time. Not exactly gentle, but you okay, Kuna?
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
She could have been here to see it. I have some questions. Goodbye. The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch, gently laid on one side. Well, it's down. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. The lieutenant nods approvingly. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. Field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose and lists 1 investigation of the scene, 2 initial examination of the victim, 3 field autopsy, 4 transportation. We're on number 3. The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual. The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut this shit up. Don't we have someone else for this? A doctor? No. You and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup, social work, everything. Yeah, I feel like a detective sometimes. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now. He adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls on a pair of latex gloves. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done them 100 times. You do know is at 18.9 kilometers, the dominant shield volcano Corpus Mundi is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single Ipé sang to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, no idea. Clap your gloved hands. Let's get in there. There truly is a time for everything. Even for yellow gardening gloves, he nods approvingly. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity. Alright. I'll ask you what I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you just take notes. You just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form in your ledger. That's right. Open the ledger. Dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out first. It begins with Begin Assistant. That's you. Write the initials HDB. The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Coroner's case number. That. Next. Name. NA. Next. Date of birth. NA. Age. The lieutenant corrects his glasses. Roughly 50. Around 50. Corpse looks ages like meat on a hook. Race. Mondial. Fair to olive skin from the island of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. Write it down. The pudginess of crumpled meat looks neither Mundial nor anything other. Sex. Fuckity fuck. Male. Male. Nor does he look male with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face. Date of birth, death. Still going with March 4, 51. What else? He looks over your shoulder. Body identified by is not applicable. Case number is the same as coroner's case. Lies motionless with cargo belt still around his neck. Only 1 box remains. None, at least not after the initial examination. Yeah, evidence of treatment. Not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dock workers. He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature. A holdout for pre-diluvian burial rites. Takes him 2 seconds to perform, then... Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Forer puts his hands to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle, there's darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside Grand Corin, the day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Torson, hand extended. He approaches to make sure she is dead more than anything else. Shivers, medium success. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This is a suicide, the other an accident, a small one. And so all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIFH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath. We should start the postmortem. Turn the page. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why. External examinations summary. Clothes. He begins. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see. Turns the body onto the side to check the label. It's happening. Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M, color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid. Write it down. The boots are also ceramic, vitreous enamel. They're fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. It'd be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire, if you are to keep them for yourself. As you ought to. You have deserved them more than anyone else. When am I gonna get them? Patience. After the autopsy, before the body's taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep, I hope this has helped you, my liege. Omit the boots. Tattoos. He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous cat tattoo resembling a national pattern. He reaches for the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Traget Mini. Write it down. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot, color yellow, length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. He produces a measuring tape, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50, preservation's good, ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown, distribution's consistent with age. He kneels in to get a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness, hair is combed back, short. Write it down. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present. On head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem, low velocity. Fucking low velocity? The kid explodes. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're fucking talking about? Velocity was max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. Lieutenant pays no heed. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Write down by the men for high velocity. Write down. Look at your mark. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. Steel wiring, he concedes. Breathless, there's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. You got just the right tool for that. Chain cutters. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Good thing we got these. Pull out the rubber grip chain cutters. Rubber grip cut. Is that two different things or is it the same thing? I think it's the same thing. Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can. See, my pig's gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't. See, looks blasé. Your pig's a boring fuck. Look for a good spot to cut. The belt's equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread, rising from the east. The knot's the weak spot. Chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot, tying the belt together. Squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow, press down. The knot slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. The lieutenant has kneeled closer, running a finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap. As it ought to, this is where its grip on the curdled meat's gentlest, pulling it up. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Marks well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Write it down. Chest is intact. He presses down on it. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia. He pulls down some man's underpants. Now it's gonna happen, see? I fucking knew it! This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. Lieutenant's trying to make it as boring as possible. Genitalia is male and unremarkable, no evidence of injury. Write it down. Back is symmetrical and intact. He struggles to turn the corpse on his side. Upper and lower extremities are intact but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. Must have been excruciating, especially the hip. For he is the temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. Write it down. Last of them, hands. He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other one. Hands are clean. He inspects the wrists. No sign of a recent struggle. Whoa. He returns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? 2. Internal. Tell me something, dead man. Shoot, loony Ronnie. Enough. Jacob's boots right now. Internal examination. One moment. Central nervous system, he says, and then concludes abruptly. I have nothing. You have anything on the man's central nervous system? You don't even have a joke. NA. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. It gets close to a swollen mouthful. Eyes squinting from the fumes. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. Rotting smell erupts from it. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night. Hyoid bone is fractured, he says after a while. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact, unremarkable. Respiratory system, back hunched as if in prayer. He begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present, and mucus of the lips and mouth. Apodabilitary, NA, he wipes his brow. Why don't we have anything? Are you an expert? No. Same for toxicology and serology. Both? The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could do. Oh, it does. Like a toxicology screening? He looks at the monster. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything. Even if it was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request. Toxicology requested. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood is gathered in hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis visually consistent with a hanging. Gastrointestinal. He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there. Then... digested. Some semi-solid food in the stomach. Voila! He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. Write it down, omit the voila. What's next? Description of injuries. Let's see. He tilts his head. Bite marks, contusions, ligature marks. You'll need 3 fields and leave a 4th one too. And the ones we made? No. So we inflicted them? Okay, I inflicted. Okay, so there's a spin, stabilized munition from a key edge, lodged in his lung. Let's pause. I don't think we should mention that. Better not to muddy the waters. But isn't that Slavy? Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder, and if they do, such details would only confuse them. Now, injuries. Bite marks. He nods. Head, chest, and scalp. Bite marks. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. But ontologist does not need to be consulted. Write it down. Your opinion, officer? Beneath the description there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Non-fatal postmortem. Agreed. Next, contusions. So, the scalp bleeds from a postmortem head injury. A stone from the injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it postmortem. has confessed to causing a post-mortem at maximum velocity. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes. Non-fatal post-mortem. Right. Next. Ligature mark? Dark red, a braided ligature mark encircling the neck with a gap on the neck measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. Hyoid bone is fractured. Cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark 1 centimeter, no sign of clawing on the neck. Write it down. Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's heard jerks to the side, awaiting your judgment. The ring around his neck, visible. Do I think the hanging killed him? Something says no. I'm gonna go with no. Non-fatal. Post-mortem. The lieutenant falls silent abruptly. He is deep in thought, eyes fixed on the bright red ring around the dead man's neck. Why do you say that? I don't think it was the injury that killed him. Okay, why? I don't know. Still, there may be truth to this one. I was ready to call a probable cause of death here, but now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Proceeds to take a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. How'd it go? It was, he looks for the right words, irregular field autopsy. We didn't establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy, but personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we're lucky. I wouldn't hold my breath. What else? We were thorough enough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What's there to say? Given the circumstance, it was a professional field autopsy. Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink's in order. What now? I need a copy of the form. Then I will drive him to Valberg, rip out a copy of the autopsy pages. More processing. He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again. He's thinking. Did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. Just pull the boots off, right now. No reason to pull head off. Didn't establish a probable cause. Perception 4, even 42%. Legendary challenge. You run your hand over the victim's cold body, his limbs, torso, with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. Look at his pants. Sure, like it. You pull down his breeches, marveling his present around the crotch. Units have shrunk, crawling halfway back inside him. Nothing mysterious or noteworthy. Think we missed something? Medium success. You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you. There's something we're not seeing. Okay, well, we're in livor mortis here. He's disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination. We need to do it fast. Okay, where do we find a fridge? It would have to be the industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling, and then the fruit store down by the gates. They don't know. But only if all else fails. Let's hurry then. He gets up. This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we're looking for will become harder to find.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Hostel room calls. We ain't done yet. Let's ask Gart about the thing, like we said we would.
can I help you?
Seem to be in need of a fridge. Yeah, for the dead body. You want me to put a corpse in my fridge, right? Correct him. No, we want you to put a very important dead body in your fridge. Don't care, you're not putting a dead body in my fridge. Why? Because this is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. It'd only be for a... Lieutenant, you too? You can't believe it. You are asking too. No, the answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus. Let's go talk to the Freet clerk. Feel like I'm running against time.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Give me money. Wow, didn't know you worked for the Union. Money gained. Anything else? You have a fridge. Right behind you. She now starts the buzzing machine in the corner. Need to store a corpse. She keeps chewing on her gum. You're joking, right? Never mind, it would never fit. Yeah, super funny. I mean, it's not a good plan. But if those places are closed, we still have the weird, like, industrial area, right? Fuck it, I don't have a better idea. It's locked. Shit.
Yes?
Try again, I guess?
Is this about the questions again? 'Cause
Fridge. I need to store the corpse of the hangman in your fridge. Okay, it wouldn't fit, you know. Now that I am looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for putting a corpse. Hey. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, otherwise he's just gonna hang out outside. And that feels slightly problematic. I mean, maybe he can hang out outside and, somehow Kim will get bored and walk away, and then I can steal his boots. And then I'll have shoes that don't make me clumsy. Which apparently is what these do. Which is weird. This is the door, right? Use the key. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure. A white alligator found in a Quicksilver. As you hold the open door, you feel the air moving, a little draft. Small suitcase full of clothes. Colonial mug collection. Have on the mugs. Little ring, throw cheerful. The images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The images belay a lack of interest in human beings. These are merely unflattering caricatures. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. Typical asshole. Person's unhappy. Lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, puts it back down with a look of disdain. Beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment. Whip out the yellow mug. Yeah, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. There's the missing tin soldier. The lieutenant looks at the mugs next to each other. Whoever lives here might have had the whirling container dump his trash. Now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens. An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Do we think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash? Who knows? The lieutenant opens his notebook. I'm not expecting too much from this. Clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be random local matter, but still a little coincidence. Smell of disinfectant. The room reeks of chemicals. A clean shirt. This is the flag of Ravishal. With the sun. This isn't just one sun, there are little suns dancing around the big sun. Sevenfold miracle. What's that? It's an optical atmospheric anomaly that first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around a big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Ravishal got his flag. Old flag. Lieutenant is an old-fashioned kind of guy. Don't bow down to the flag. Flag doesn't seem to mind, it's just a colorful fabric with a sun set onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing. I think I have another skill point, right? Let's try to get one of these things working. I could go for 2. Fuck it. It's now nighttime. Guess let's see if Kim wants to go to bed. We can have a little debrief and then I'll see if I can rip some boots off. I don't have a better idea and we don't have a fridge. It took us too long to get the body down. We missed our one bullet.
Yes?
What? Bridge the body. I guess Kuno's an option, I forgot. Mainly because he's not really an option. But sure. But those other 2 are not working. Everything's plus except for savoir-faire and authority. I don't think authority's gonna work on Kuno.
Fuck does Kuno care?
You need a fridge. With a gimp? Good thing you asked the Kuhnmeister. He nods, trying to look older. Kuno in the fridge. Perfect for freezing. Really? Where? Bacon Man's in a rush, but what's in it for Kuno? He crosses his arms. What's the return on Kuno's investment? A course-free yard? Kuno's got everything. I will pay you for this information one day. Kuno's clock's not doing shit. Civic pride, Kuno. Yeah, I shouldn't have even said that. It actively made this worse. I don't think I have anything that raises rhetoric. Like it. Come on, do better. Kuno's a poor kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job's on the line. I'll sympathize. Not sure about this. Class solidarity seems naive. Can't you see his hair is red, the color of social democracy? That doesn't mean anything. Just trust me. Okay. What the fuck are you doing right now? The fuck is this shit? Don't pay attention. Just keep telling your story. I've lost almost everything, Kuno. My memory, my money, my name. I can't lose my job, please. The lieutenant's eyes flash behind his glasses. It's not that dramatic. We can just send the body to processing. Kuno's never seen anything so lame. Just says mostly to himself. Listen, pig, if you were Kuno, the fuck would you care? Working. This isn't working at all. You lied to me, Golden Mouth Man. You just haven't done it long enough. You need to do it even longer. The Gold Mouth Man is a liar. He cannot be trusted. He only wants to humiliate you. No, it's the face blob who's trying to humiliate you. Why does he speak like that? Why can't he speak like a normal person? You're right, Kuno. If I were Kuno, I probably wouldn't care. I was hoping that would turn somewhere else. See sad shit? He turns curiously patient and explains. Kuno doesn't fucking care about this sad shit. Your sad shit. How about you at least try to entertain the Kuno or get the fuck off his crime scene? You don't go pester some other kids now. Why don't we go pester some other kids now? He says impatiently. Okay, Kim, where's your next option for fridges? Huh? Kuno has?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Child, speak of me.
Murder was the case they gave me.
Right. Fine, no cool boots for me. I don't know how I'm supposed to get a fridge and it's too late. You think so, officer? I'm not going to object. Need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my Kanema. We'll take it from there. There go those beautiful enamel boots. May they rest in processing. Ah well. It's too late to take him to processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow. Agate. Everything's locked and it's late. Door to the room you redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant. Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe, and besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
Didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so cool with that. Right then, the debrief. Yes. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think the day went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. Our inspection could have been more thorough, as it always can, but we have some leads we can follow up on. When you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal, but we did manage to get him down from the tree, so as they say, all is well that ends well. I'm a bit out of practice. Being sober also tends to help with precision. Anyway, he performed a field autopsy on the victim, found some things that we can really work with. I still feel like we missed something, but it's up to the boys in processing now. Did perform a thorough search of the crime scene, which is great. As for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, takes a deep breath and looks around the city. That's my forte. Unlike most cops, I understand how important communication is in our line of work. The initial interviews, we talked to some people. Wish we didn't have to do any of the interviews. People are treasures. Communication is important. Very important indeed. We conducted an interview of Everett Clare. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however. He's a tough bit of gristle. We talked to Joyce Messier, but we didn't get any information from her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. Have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that standard Precinct 41 practice? Yeah, man, just shift key. You gotta learn the trade. Learn the tricks of the trade. I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait till we get up tomorrow. That's probably not good. Part of the Jamrock Shuffle. It's impressive, especially for a man of your age. And in those heels. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. So what are our powers exactly? The RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power of officers of the Revachel Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. Wouldn't that be easy to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amounts. It undermines trust. Okay, what else? Actually, why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure. Alright. We can arrest people, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. Prevents confusion and overcrowding. How can you be sure they show up? You can't. Those who don't show become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they're eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. And if someone resists? As you may have gathered from the fact we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we're permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. And the ones we convict? We do not convict. We arrest them and send them to coalition government courts in Coronan and La Delta. Prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it is paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket where he keeps his notes. And who makes these rules? Coalition. The RCM was founded by the coalition government to restore order in the national zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window just below that just went dark. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention, whether the citizens of Revachel or the coalition government founded the RCM. Let's say the citizens. Be sentimental if you like, either way. The moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. Just look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly like luminous clouds. They pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that Kid Kuno. It's different inland. In Jamrock and the GRIF. Why do I keep just saying that's F? He pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs. The union, the company, not daring to come here often. This place has fallen between the cracks. The jurisdictions of our 2 precincts. And in Jamrock and GRAH. We run the city. West of the river is RCM land. He looks back at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... He shakes his head. But we're in control. And it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work, and if they don't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes. He's very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes made him look younger, not older. This moral intern? The Moralist International, the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They've been running the place after the revolution failed. I really don't. That's how bad it is. Okay. They are a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. The coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. And what do you think of them? The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts. Until they change. And he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that's about to happen. It's more than that. There's some kind of affection in him. You like the moral intern? I did. When I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. Thinks and changes his mind. No. I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. I have an opinion. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls onto a cigarette, a slim white thing in his fingers. I've been talking for 7 hours. I'm tired. I'm sorry. That's a lot of hours. Things are bad out there. Point to the city. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revachol. It's done an awful job here. You seen this place? Things are bad. We're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeois rights. Mutters silently. Immigrants, liberal, keeps fucking mean turning into women. Jesus Christ. On second thought, I don't have an opinion. Forget about it. Things are bad here, out here. I don't know if that gives us the right to police Revachol. That feels a little bit too authoritarian, actually. Like that's people in the streets type shit. But the others are so defeatist. That one too. They all are. They've done an awful job here. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the EMI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Yeah, it's not that bad. And you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally, I don't enjoy it much. He looks at the roundabout. The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses, the red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west. Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Monday is over. Thanks for this. Yeah. It's getting very cold now. Let's go. He puts out the stub of a cigarette and looks to the door.
Yes?
Go to bed, Cam. Leave me alone. Damn it. See you in the morning. Bye. He's in bed. Gonna break into his car. Will he know I took them? Yes. Do I care? No. Can I even get in there? Probably not. Is it even here? Also no. I wasn't expecting the car to disappear. This I will admit. That's a problem. Maybe a sea monster. Sit on the bench on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache. Get up. I was not expecting the car to disappear. I'm very upset. Body's gone. Damn it. Why couldn't you tell me where a fridge was? Let's save the skill points for now. I think I only have the one anyway. Yep. Actively cost me a thing to make it go away. God, that is awful. I actively don't like that. Because you don't really know what they do until it's done, and then you're stuck with it. Like, if it's good, great, but probably won't always be good.
Can I help you?
No. Alright. Everything's locked up and I don't really know what to do. So, the bed, I guess. Bed's cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. Looks awful. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. Then sleep doesn't come. But why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Roll to the other side. It's a little better. Color senses and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Something to do with, what was it, the lieutenant said Union? And if it's gone again, your thoughts lost beneath the slowing brainwaves. Fall asleep. Breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you, till your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Make a heart safe. Because 7 hours of reading is... I'm at my I should stop point. We'll continue this next time. Okay. Bye.